In the vibrant heart of Kawa West stands a living testimony of God's unwavering faithfulness. A monument not built merely with stone and steel, but with tears, prayers, hope, and relentless faith. This is not just a church, it is a story, a journey, a miracle in motion. Join us as we journey through 25 years of divine faithfulness, from humble beginnings in a living room to the soaring heights of a cathedral.
It began on the 26th of January 1996. Two families, led by Elder Jackson Kikuvi and Brother John Bochi, opened the doors of their home. Far from their home church in Dandora, they desired fellowship, prayer, and the presence of God. With no drums, no pews, no pulpit, just faith, they lit a spark that will grow into a roaring fire. This was the genesis of Kahawa West Pefa Cathedral of Grace. As the home fellowship grew, so did its need for shepherding. In the year 2000, God answered with a couple full of vision and compassion, Bishop Peter Ambuka and Reverend Mary Ambuka, who were serving as assistant pastors under Bishop Dr. Moffat Kilioba at Pefa Dandora. The church, by now meeting in a temporary iron sheet structure owned by the then ruling party KANU, needed direction. The Ambukas brought more than leadership. They brought a vision to build a strong, spirit-filled church anchored in love, truth, and holiness.
My name is Bishop Ambuka, the lead pastor of Kahawa West Cathedral of Grace. And when we started this work here in Kahawa West, it was not easy. We were young in marriage, and we had little children under 5 years. And so coming here, and you're coming to a place that is new, was not very easy. But by the grace of God, we were able to overcome the challenges that we faced, challenges of people accepting you as a new person in an area, challenges of pioneering a church that had very few people, about 20 in numbers.
When I came here in the year 2000, a lot was happening in our minds because we really didn't know what we'll find on the ground. But we want to thank God because of the ministry that the Lord placed in our hearts. We came believing, and by faith, we started ministry here. Just by faith, there was nothing on the ground, but we believed the God who sent us here. And therefore, when we came, we envisioned that God has brought us to Kahawa West with a purpose, and the purpose will see it as the years go on. So we came here just walking by faith, like our father Abraham. And today, when we are celebrating 25 years, indeed, we've seen the faithfulness of God. And I'm standing here today saying that God has been faithful through the years.
The church could no longer fit under tin and timber. The people dreamed bigger. In Chogoria, Congo Kahawa West, 4 empty plots of land awaited, each at 275,000 Kenya shillings. To many, it seemed impossible, but under the wise oversight of Bishop Samuel Mwatha, negotiations began. It wasn't just land, it was purpose. Faith took its first tangible form. August 6th, 2000, the very first church fundraiser. What came in? 14,593 Kenya shillings. It wasn't much by earthly standards, but to the believers, it was enough. God had whispered, "You shall build this church without sweat or struggle." And so, with every coin and every prayer, the journey to build began.
When we were meeting at Carnival, where we first started the church, God enabled us to get this land where we have built this wonderful cathedral. And once we came here, we didn't have money, because I remember the first fundraiser, we only managed to raise 126,000. And that one we paid to the owner of the land. We wanted to buy 4 plots, each costing 350,000 Kenya shillings. So when we came in, because we did not have money, we decided to put polythene papers around the structures. What really sustained us during that time is the vision that God had given us, that one day we will have a magnificent cathedral here, the most beautiful in Kahawa West and even in Nairobi. So that kept us going, because we had a word from God. And not only that, God told us that we are going to build that cathedral without sweating. So that kept us going.
Before the stone walls, before the pulpit and fancy seats, there was the polythene church, a makeshift shelter where the roof trembled with the wind and rain dripped on open Bibles. The community called it the polythene paper church, but to the faithful, it was holy ground. Children laughed, voices rose in praise, and the Spirit of God hovered over plastic sheets and muddy floors. The year 2001 marked a sacred turning point. The ground was broken in a ceremony presided over by Bishop Samuel Mwatha, assisted by Bishop Dr. Moffat Kilioba and Bishop Peter Deya, the General Secretary of PEFA Kenya. And between 2004 and 2014, something magnificent took shape. With every sacrifice, every stone, every silent tear, and every corporate prayer, walls were raised. Brick by brick, grace by grace, the sanctuary rose. On 22nd June 2014, the dream became reality. Kahawa West PEFA Church was dedicated, not just as a building, but as a miracle.
And still, the growth did not stop. In 2016, life groups began, bringing fellowships to homes, streets, and hearts. In 2018, the NextGen Youth Church was launched, vibrant, fresh, and powerful. These were not just programs, they were lifelines to a generation hungry for connection, for truth, and for God. June 25th, 2023, a milestone written in heaven. In a vibrant, spirit-filled service, the church was declared a cathedral. From a home fellowship to a polythene paper church to a place of regional significance, Kahawa West PEFA Cathedral of Grace was born, a beacon, a pillar, an Ebenezer.
The cathedral status to me means that we have come a long way with God, and having the cathedral status means that there's a status that God has raised in our ministry, and a status that deserves honor, and the honor goes back to God. So it has been a status of 25 years of ministry, and therefore I'm grateful to God that it's only God who can raise somebody and give them statuses in life. And to me, Cathedral of Grace is a status that is well deserved.
There are three people that I would like to really appreciate, because without them, this church would not be what it is today. The first person that I want to appreciate is Elder Jackson Kikuvi, who I was his pastor in Dandora, Pefa Church, and also Elder John Boshi. The two came to Kahawa West, where they relocated, and after coming here, they started a house fellowship. Out of that house fellowship is where the Cathedral of Grace was born. So I just want to appreciate Elder Kikuvi and Elder John Boshi. I also want to appreciate Elder Gigi, who without him, this church would have gotten finished. Because there was a time when one pastor tried to take away the church, and Elder Gigi stood strong and made sure that it never happened. So the three will be recognizing you today and giving you awards, just to say we appreciate the work that you've done. May God bless you.
Yeah, and I'm grateful that the Lord has been faithful through the 25 years in ministry in Kahawa West. It has been 32 years of ministry when we started ministry in 1993. So to us, we are celebrating 25 years of the Silver Jubilee in ministry in Kahawa West and 32 years serving the Lord and serving the people of God. So I'm grateful that as we celebrate today, my heart is overwhelmed just by the faithfulness and the grace of God through the years. It has not been easy, but the joys of ministry have been part and parcel of this ministry. I'm grateful to God.
The next 25 years, we see disciples raised, communities transformed, nations reached. The cathedral becomes not just a place of worship, but a launchpad for revival. Because he who began this work is still writing the story.
My name's Pastor Peterson Wanjohi. I'm born again, and I thank God for His grace in my life. What I can say is that God has been so gracious. I've been here for the last 25 years, and I'm happy to say that I saw this work began. It has not been so easy, and I can remember that also as a church, as we are celebrating our 25 years of God's faithfulness, I can also say that as a person, I am celebrating 25 years of my marriage. It makes me happy remembering the journey that we've come. My role in this church is an administrative pastor, and all I can say is that as administrator in such an organization or in such a church is just to make sure that things are running smoothly, so that it can be easy for our bishop and the church board to work well. All that I do is that to make sure that things are working on well, because many times I interact with the people, I get to understand what is happening, just to see or to make sure that things are running well, so that it can be easy for us to minister to people.
Yeah, my name's Reverend Naftali Aswani, the pastor in charge of evangelism and discipleship in this Cathedral of Grace. As one of the original members of this church, being the first convert that I gave my life to Jesus in the year 2000. So as the church is celebrating 25 years in Kahawa West, I'm also celebrating 25 years as a born-again person. One thing I can remember so vividly is how God has brought us, the faithfulness of God. Throughout the journey, it has been all about God. God has been so faithful. Having a church that had a membership of like 20 members, see what the Lord has done. And we really give God all the glory.
My vision, as from now going on, it is to work with the vision which the bishop is having, because he is the vision bearer, and all what I can say that as leaders and as administrator, I'm just ready and willing to support him so that the vision can go on well. As a person, I want to believe that with the time, the church is growing. We are going to have many branches. We are going to have many other churches around us so that we can see our church grow. Again, this is when I'm dealing with leaders. My desire it is to see our leaders grow. So many a times I'm trying also, by the help of our bishop, to raise more leaders so that this work can be very much easy. And I want to believe that by the help of God, in some years to come, we will be celebrating another 25 years, because I believe we will celebrate. We have been gone to a higher level by the grace of God.
What I can say, pastoring under Dr. Bishop Peter Mboka, I can define it in 3 words. Number 1, be passionate about God. Be consistent and love people. That's what I've learned, because he's so passionate about God. He's so consistent, and the love that he has for God is in a great measure. That's what I can define it in 3 words.
As you know, the slogan of our church is a family church where everybody is somebody. And the vision is to be a family church of kingdom-minded believers who love God, love each other, and they are compassionate to the lost. So the legacy I want to see is a legacy of the young people. Some of them now are grown-ups, because 25 years, somebody who was born 25 years ago is a mature person. And even some of them, they've gotten married. I want to see these young people, and it is something that I'm seeing, taking position and beginning to serve God. Some of them are answering the call to the ministry. Others are ministering in the worship, in ushering. So the legacy that I want to leave behind is a legacy of a family church of kingdom-minded believers who are serving God passionately, loving God with all of their heart, and loving each other, and also reaching out to the lost.
As we mark 25 years of God's faithfulness, we are not only celebrating what has been, but also laying the foundation for what is to come. On this very day, Kahawa West Pefa Cathedral of Grace breaks ground for a bold new vision, the multi-purpose complex. This facility will host a Christian school to shape young minds, a dedicated Sunday school church, a vibrant youth church, modern offices, and other essential amenities that will serve both the congregation and the community. It is more than a building. It is a statement of faith in the future. With an estimated cost of 25 million Kenya shillings, this project stands as a call to unity, generosity, and unwavering belief that he who began a good work will bring it to completion. From a living room to a polythene structure to a glorious cathedral, from 2 families to a multitude, this is the story of Kahawa West Pefa Cathedral of Grace, a story of faith, fire, and favor. And we proclaim with joy and awe, Ebenezer, thus far the Lord has helped us.